Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to OccultcatTv. I'm your host, O'Shea. As well, you can call me Cool Cat or Tanu. Whatever you feel, whatever you desire, whatever feels most comfortable, you know what I mean? So, anyway, let's get into this. Today, the video is actually going to be about Egyptian magic, the Egyptian Pantheon, as well as Egyptian magic mastery course, or Egyptian magic, manifestation, abundance, renewal, creation, creating your life through Egyptian magic. Do you have to be a practitioner to work Egyptian magic? No, anybody can start. It's about starting with the foundation and the basics. And this is pretty much, even if you think that you're a veteran, I do recommend that you stay tuned and that you watch this because I feel it will be very beneficial to you. I've worked with the Egyptian Pantheon about 7 years. About 7 years. And as I worked with them, what I know now is not what I knew in the beginning. For as I rose above the qliphoth and past the qliphoth, at some point when I was doing goetic or qliphothic magic, right, on top of Egyptian, first I did Egyptian and then I learned demon magic or qliphothic magic, qliphothic sorcery. I noticed that by initiating into the qliphoth, I was actually kind of cut off from the Egyptian pantheon, and I didn't know why that was. But as I started to rise up in the qliphoth, I was eventually led to a book by Mark Allen Smith that actually showed me that the Egyptian pantheon is at the top of the qliphoth. So they are what is, you could say, above demons, since they are celestial, right? Anubis guides the dead souls. Some demons or some qliphothic or goetic spirits might be able to get you to commune with spirits, but Anubis ultimately is a spirit of source that is designated and designed, programmed to lead the souls of the dead. That is what he is good at. That is what he is empowered by, right? So again, it wasn't until my chair. So again, it wasn't until I actually finished the qliphoth that I understood, especially from reading Mark Allen Smith's book, the Queen of Hell, that the Egyptian pantheon lies at the top of the qliphoth, or above the qliphoth, you could say, and then above them is the wellspring or the throne of Hekate, the original well of magic that is everything in the all. Listen up, guys. I'm giving you tips. I'm giving you keys and tools to quantum leap your experience in your magic journey. Because this is years of effort all condensed into pretty much a video. And it's such beautiful knowledge because once we know that the throne of Hekate is what is bleeding into the Egyptian gods, it is what is feeding them magic, and then as well, Hekate, the Dark Mother, is what's feeding all of reality. She is the queen of the cosmos. She is the dark matter that is everything in the all. She is the black dragon, the first dragon of the void that stemmed to create all of this. And with her and the unification of, you could say, Ra, or the unification of Lucifer, Lucifer being Ra, a lot of people perceive, right? I feel that connection. I can definitely see that, to the point that I drew an Eye of Ra thinking it was an Eye of Horus, and then I was going to scrap it, and then I drew a Lucifer sigil, and then I put them together in the same pocket, and I didn't really realize, but then I was like, oh, like maybe he's trying to influence me and show me these are the same beings, the amplification of energies, just as Shiva is as well, or Lucifer is Shiva. So there is this one, and I made a video on Shiva, you guys can go watch that, it's a few videos back, but it shows that there is this current of light, of energy, right, of magic that is stemming through not just Ahriman into Shiva, into Lucifer, in or into Ra, into Lucifer, and so on and so on. Because just as we reincarnate, these deities also reincarnate and take upon themselves different deific masks as expressions of themselves for that new time period, or however they've chosen to evolve and integrate themselves, and then have chosen to portray themselves to us. It's the same with Inanna, Ishtar. Who is that? Isis. Isis is Inanna, Ishtar, Astarte, Astaroth, Karnaim, right? And from her being all of these beings, she actually, I remember hearing she had a name called Lady of 10,000 Names. So what does that mean as an expression? She has 10,000 expressions. She's chosen to multiply or come about incarnating in that many different aspects, and that shows how powerful she is as a being. So we must understand these things. So Isis is Astaroth, Ishtar, Inanna, Astarte. Astarte is Astaroth, is Isis. These are the different deific masks. I'm saying this because I've actually made a pact with Astaroth and Astarte, and I worked heavily with Isis. Egyptian Pantheon doesn't require blood or pacts really. And I can see that they all stem through each other. I can see the source in all of them. I can see the source at their core. And it's beautiful that I can understand and see that, because Isis is a goddess of magic, right? So is Astaroth. Just, you could even say Isis chose to become a demoness, chose to evolve and go about the qliphothic initiations, taming her own serpent energy, her own energy, to become an even more evolved being, a darker being. You could say she evolved through the void. She evolved through the dark matter, right? We evolve with dark matter. Again, I made a video on that. Go watch that. We evolve with dark matter because we evolve in the void. Because the void is everything in the all. The void is all of this darkness that we are in. We are in the void, constantly imagining, thinking, creating new realities as well as new things into being. This is what Egyptian magic is at its core, and to understand it at its depths, to understand and know its truths, the truths that underlie this reality. Being said, Hekate, right? Heka is what flows through the Egyptian pantheon, giving them magic. So if it's what flows through them, giving them magic, it must be what flows through the infernal divine and the qliphoth, giving them magic and giving power to them. So what does this mean? Heka is the qliphoth, is the energy that runs through it and underlies it, is the primal essence and energy. What is Heka? Heka is the Egyptian embodiment and concept of magic. So what is Hekate? The goddess of magic, the goddess of witchcraft. She chose to embody herself as an avatar of magic itself. She is the embodiment of fully what magic is. She is the celestial divine. She is the infernal divine. She is queen of heaven, hells, as well as the earth realm, right? She is the full unification of everything, of all these beings. And in being the full unification, she is Heka. That was her original aspect in her original form, and then she was rebranded by the Greeks, and then so on and so on. Even to the point that she's in a video game called League of Legends, where she literally spawns from the void. What is Hekate? First dragon of the void. This dragon, or this void empress, or void daughter of the void, right? Uses void energy to manifest and create. What is her name? Kaisa. Hekate would keep whispering that to me. Oh, you know that's me, right? That's me. I am Kaisa. I put that in the game, and then you see that the game has a heavy like millions of people play this game called League of Legends, right? And then on top of that, within the game, dragons are a main part of the archetype and the lore behind the game, because the dragons are what taught different beings, like they taught this one dude Pantheon galactic travel and galactic civilization, how to build a galactic civilization. They started them off and then they left and then they came back. Oh, you guys can galactic travel? That's dope. So that's kind of what the dragons teach as well. If you look at in Egyptian magic, there behind everything is dragons. Dragons are imagery and symbolism that are there, as and I'll look more into that. But if we do look at the serpent, like there's Apep, right? The serpent that fights, what is it? Fights Ra, or like Set defends against Ra and stuff like that. So taming Apep. What can we see as taming Apep as, or Apep as? The serpent. What is the serpent with wings? The dragon. So it's by slaying the serpent, or taming the serpent, taming the kundalini within, that we evolve our serpent into a dragon. And that is the representation and the symbolism of the caduceus, Thoth's staff. Thoth Tehuti's, I like that, but that's easier, right? Tehuti's staff is the caduceus. What is that? Two serpents intertwining to go up to wings. So feathered serpent is the symbolism. Who is he also known as if we're looking at faces and deific masks? The feathered serpent is as well Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl, from the Aztec or Mayan pantheon, is the feathered serpent. So Thoth actually incarnated as Quetzalcoatl to the Mayans and Aztecs, right, as the feathered serpent, and then went to Egypt carrying that feathered serpent, not to say which was first, this and that, but he carried that feathered serpent imagery through the caduceus and then showed that to the Egyptians, where they as well gained that imagery. Do they look at it in the same way? No. Just like the Japanese, like the different periods of, like the Edo period and with the samurai, right? They depict dragons and magic in a completely different way than we do. So this is just one system. This is just one pantheon. But from this one pantheon, I've started to realize all pantheons. Because the Egyptian pantheon led me into the qliphoth. The qliphoth helped me to understand and know death. And then from death, I understood death is the doorway to all pantheons. For myself, I've had a near death. I focus on death meditations every day. I try to die. I try to allow myself to die and dissolve to what I'm meant to be, and to the path, and as well the journey. So through death is everything, and the all is any pathway that you desire. You must die, right? So I walk the path of the Egyptian pantheon, right? I walk the path of the Hindu pantheon. I walk the like qliphothic, Sephirothic magics, right? Sephirothic sorcery. And then at its core, I walk as well. I walk the path of primal craft, and I've initiated through the books. I'm not an official initiate under Mark Allen Smith. I want to say that now, but I've initiated under through the books. And then the main path I walk is the draconian path, or the path of the dragon, right? I do not put a title to the path that I walk, but I do associate or consider myself the same as the dragon yogis. They didn't have a path, but from not having a path, they breathed the fire of their path. From the passion within, they created and forged their own path, and that's what I'm doing. And that's why I take from these different pantheons, and I've created and forged. I'm forging my own path, my own pantheon. I'm creating my own reality, my own universe, and with that I'm bringing all these energies in, and then I'm designing and creating my own path workings from that. So even with this video, I'm going into the foundation to give you guys that, so I can expand upon my path workings to understand the path that I'm now forging and creating as I've worked with all of these paths for so many different years. I believe that that's pretty much what we're searching for. What we're seeking for is this knowledge over here, that knowledge over there, till we put everything together. I didn't meditate, learned Buddhism, started to meditate. Didn't know that mantras were a thing, went to Hinduism, learned mantras. Oh, Egypt's all about symbolism and archetypes, hieroglyphs, right? I learned hieroglyphs. I started using hieroglyphs in magic and Egyptian words, even abracadabra. I speak as I say, or I speak my will into existence. That is a powerful, magical, a very powerful magic word for the Egyptian Pantheon and working with the Egyptian magic. So I always make sure to close out, or even start but close out my my ritual with saying abracadabra, as it is and so it is done. Right? And that's you speaking your words into existence, just as I'm doing here. So, going back to it, Heka is, or Hekate is the magic that flows through everything. And then as well, leading into what I was just talking about, Thoth reincarnated as, or Tahuti incarnated as Thoth to the Egyptians, and then from that taught them the ways of ascension, of magic, the Atlantean ways. At its core, all Egyptian magic is Atlantean at its core. Egyptian magic is Atlantean. It is magic of Atlantis, of Udal, of what are they called? But yeah, the different, and as I'm saying this, I'm seeing 555, which is Lucifer's number. But the different tribes of Atlantis had different magic. And even King Paimon, a Goetic demon king, right? He's actually an Atlantean king, or yeah, he's an Atlantean king named Iemon. And we can even look at Yeshua, who is a rebrand of Horus. Yeshua even has an Atlantean aspect of a priest known as Sananda. So a lot of this, at its core, when you start to go back and you peel back the masks, everything is Atlantean in nature. That is our first wellspring. So, in a sense, I'm going to, with that, guys, giving you that foundation of where magic comes from. So it comes from Heka or Hekate. So Hekate would be a really good goddess to work with if you're working with the Egyptian Pantheon. If you're new to the Egyptian Pantheon, she teaches you witchcraft, and then as well she can teach you Egyptian magic with her aspect of Heka. So you can work with Heka, which is just a word, as well as an embodiment. So you start to embody Heka, Hekate. And from my journeys in primal craft, right, I learned that Hekate is what flows through Lucifer. She is the magic that flows through Lucifer. Lucifer would be nothing if Hekate did not give birth to him. Well, I mean, physically, energetically, spiritually, in all these ways. He was birthed from her womb. He has all of her magic, right? And I look at it as the same. So this shows how prominent Hekate is as a goddess of magic, as a goddess of sorcery, and then later on branded as a goddess of witchcraft. So as we work with Heka, we are becoming magic. So we're becoming spiritually potent. We're becoming more spiritually powerful and empowered. It's the same in witchcraft. When we are working with Hekate, we are becoming empowered magically. She's teaching us magic. She's showing us what magic is. And it's so hard to encapsulate her as a being because she's so multifaceted. She's so exponential. She's so vast and limitless because she's primal at her core. So she's existed all this time, and we can look at it the same, like we're living in a life, and we've lived many lives. I've lived at least a few past lives, many past lives, and it's the same as if we didn't forget ourselves and we just kept growing, right? And we just kept incarnating into new things. That is Hekate. These deities evolve over time. As the energy evolves, we evolve. And as we evolve, the energies evolve because we're giving back to that energetic current, that energetic circuit. So this is why I wanted to give you guys that foundation of understanding where the Egyptian magic flows from. It flows from the wellspring of Hekate. Hekate is the protector and keeper of magic. She as well is the wellspring of magic that gives magic, but she at her core is magic. She is the goddess of magic. I hope you understand how impactful that is. People should really understand and know how spiritually potent, how powerful she is as the goddess she is, and understand, like, everyone wants to look at her light aspects, like so many witches online talking about Hekate that know nothing, that just work with her light aspect. You have to go into the dark and work with her draconian aspect, her darker aspects, to understand the dark mother that is Hekate. What is darkness? Magic at its core is darkness. Source is a mixture of darkness and celestial. That is what Hekate is. And then it's from working with her that we actually understand our own darkness and our light, and we learn to merge these energies. So that as we are walking the path, we do not get tilted either way, but we understand light and we understand darkness. Or let's go with, we understand light, right hand, and we understand darkness, and with that we understand the transcendence of the whole. So Hekate being the original wellspring of magic, sip from Hekate's grail, take from her essence and energy, work with her, allow her to empower you as you're either working with her, witchcraft, or even just Egyptian magic, Egyptian sorcery. Because that's pretty much what this video is for. So now I'm gonna, since I gave you guys the symposium, the first part, I'm now gonna do an invocation. We're gonna do an Egyptian ritual. I'm just gonna channel it on the spot, and then you guys get to go about your day. Okay? So let's do this. I'm gonna first call in Anubis. So this is an invocation to Anubis, which Anubis is a black jackal or dog, you could say. Jackal. He likes wine, beer. He mostly likes beer. He really likes beer. Sandalwood incense, patchouli incense, mostly sandalwood, Nag Champa. Anubis also goes by Anpu. He likes Anpu a lot more. Anpu is his original name. There's a more power to it, right? Anubis is a rebrand. So Anpu, Anpu, Anpu. The Lord of the desert sands, who guides lost souls through endless waste into a better land, who brings the dead to their final judgment into the hand of Ma'at, great-eared one who sniffs out all things hidden, and from whom nothing can be concealed forever. Guide us surely and skillfully out of the darkness, out of our own blind searching. Dark God of the West, take me home, I am a wandering soul. Bring us forth out of darkness, guide us forth, guide us through the wastelands. Find for us the track of fate, like all of our ancestors, like all of the souls of the beloved dead. We will find a way, we will find a way, we will find a way, forth out of the darkness and into the blazing sun. And then, for Anubis, I ask that you raise this room into a sacred space, elevating the vibration and raising the frequency, so as I can better manifest the spirit in my temple and arena of sorcery. Anpu, Anubis, Anpu, we thank you for raising this room into a sacred space, elevating the vibration and raising the frequency. Call Horus or Bast. For Bastet is a cat goddess, a black cat goddess that will protect and empower you. She'll bring you wealth and abundance as well. You can light black candles for her, as well pour her libations of beer or wine. O great mistress of cats, lady of pleasure in ancient times, your eyes sparkle with mischief, and you grant your favors capriciously, giving them only where the whim takes you. Yet we who inhabit this strange world below you, yet in power over all your subjects, we would ask your blessings on us, as we give our blessings to those who are in our mercy. May we never forget, Lady of Tame Predators, who are now so tame as we might like to believe, that when we are in a position of power, we should never forget the spirit of those beneath us. Bless us with joy in life, Lady Bast, and may we go to our graves never forgetting what it is like to play. Hail Bast, hail Bast, hail Bast. For Goddess Bastet, we thank you. And now I'm going to continue with calling forward Hekate. So calling forward magic itself, Heka. Dark moon, hidden moon, old moon, shining on the crossroads of our souls. Darkness hides nothing but our fears, but your mystery, underworld river, magic, lead us trembling into our own darkness. To be midwifed out again, you offer us retreat from the rigors of the day, to find the challenge of the depths. Wild old witch of the waning moon, lady of the dark caves that wait in unending damp echoes, like the hollow rooms of our minds. You know the wisdom of the secret places, and we dare not pretend that your kingdom does not lie beneath all that we have built. Hekate, cave within, old mother, let us in. Hekate, cave within, guide us through the dark. For we thank you, Goddess Hekate. We thank you, magic, the magic that flows through us in all ways. Now for the God that teaches us magic, Lord Thoth, we thank you, O God of magic. We thank you for all that you teach us. Hail, God of the papyrus, Lord of words, Lord of symbols, scholar and lawyer, inventor and scientist, player of the sacred flute, master of the papyrus, speaker of the sacred nun, the word that invokes the universe. You who understands the value of an education, let us remember the day when we opened a book and touched the understanding of another soul across time. Teach us that to write can be to fly through the veil of time, to a future we will not live to see, and a past that we will never be again. Healer of both Horus and Set, teach us that help need not be personal, but can be offered to friend and enemy alike. Tell us that the moon is not inconsistent, but waxes and wanes each month exactly on time. For we thank you, Lord Thoth. So, Thoth has taught me a lot. He has been one of the most beneficial teachers and has helped me to exponentially grow. He is the being that first taught me magic and that I first could see understand, and communicate with. Thoth will be your best friend along the path. If you walk the Egyptian path and working with the Egyptian gods, or just on the path in general, God can't. I mean, Thoth, as well, he is a god, can help. I don't have the symbol, but Thoth can as well help you in mastering the matrix, help you in mixed media design, or graphic design, arts of any way, acting, um, skills with like design, needing like high intelligence, understanding numbers, things of this way. Inventors. He loves working with inventors and people that like to create things. So Thoth, god of magic, um, as well music, um, really can help you out in just any way. And as well, he's known as Hermes. Hermes is the middle pillar on the Kabbalistic tree of the Sephiroth. So it's really about, he can also help you to embrace transcendence and balance, and help you to balance yourself, also just ascend the middle tree. Yes, the Egyptians had a tree of life. Did it look the same? I don't believe it looked the same, but it was a little bit different. So yeah, Thoth can help you in that way. Also Hermes, also Tehuti. So next, I'm going to call in Horus, Isis, for she who gave birth to Horus, goddess of magic, of the moon, of witchcraft, divination. We ask that you empower us with that of divination. You help us to better understand ourselves and as well who we are becoming. For we thank you, goddess Isis, for giving birth to our true magical potential and helping us to understand our path, our true will, our path, our purpose, and as well our destiny, in understanding who we are as we awaken our daemon and become our greatest versions. For we thank you for connecting us to our higher self, goddess Isis, mistress of the gods, thou bearer of wings. And imagine her behind you, giving you a hug of like divine bliss and love. Mistress of the gods, thou bearer of wings, thou lady of the red apparel, queen of the crowns of the south and north, thou mighty one of enchantment, mistress and lady of the tomb, mother in the horizon of heaven. For when Isis, the queen, found that her husband had fallen from grace, and through foul play, she searched high and low in every country until she came to a place in a far place where a great sweet scented pillar had been cut from a tamarisk tree, the likes of which had never been seen before. The mighty Isis clad herself in the robes of a common woman and presented herself to the queen to be her babe's nurse. And so it was. Yet the queen one day found this nurse setting her child in the fire, and so to make him immortal, and Isis revealed herself, and the pillar was cut down and opened, and she did restore Osiris, her husband, with many wonderful magics, and so she triumphed over their enemies and brought her beloved home. Cry joyful for them, ruler gods of Egypt. For we thank you, goddess Isis. I now as well call forward Osiris, for may you guys understand life, death, rebirth, and the path in which you are walking. Hail, O Osiris, wake, O Osiris, arise, O Osiris, Mother Nuit, give thee birth. The great company of gods would converse with thee. Take thy seat, Osiris, for none shall offend thee. Thine enemies are beneath thee. All honor is given to Osiris, Lord of the dead, for Osiris, the eldest son of Nuit, was feasting at his table, When forth came Set, his adversary, with a coffin inlaid much with gold and gems, saying whatsoever the coffin fit, might have it for his own. Osiris lay down in the coffin, only to find that it had been made for his measure, and that Set's henchman, had been laying in wait to spring the lid closed, nail down the box, and cast it into the Nile. So it was done, and it floated into the great sea, where it was borne up by the waves to the foot of a tamarisk tree, which enclosed it in a cradle of bark. And there lay Osiris, great king of the gods of Egypt, locked in stillness and one with trees. Weep for him, Lord of Earth. And now, now I'm going to be doing the Invocation of Horus. Heru, Heru, Inka Enisen. Heru, Heru, Inka Enisen. Hail, Hawk of the Sun, son of Isis and Osiris, avenger of the murdering Set. You are the sharp glance of objectivity and the long view of illumination. We who are earthbound sing your praises. You who see all from afar, you who swoop on the prey with unerring aim, help us to learn the skill of that much focus, that much concentration, to the blotting out of all insignificances. Hail, Hawk of the Sun, we who are earthbound follow your track across the sky with every inch of our sight. Heru, Heru, Enka Enisen. For we thank you, Lord Horus, for guiding us with your wisdom, teaching us of kingship, of magic, of protection, of ruling. For we embrace your eye of Horus as a symbolism of protection as it shines on us. For as we gaze and look into your eyes, Horus, you gaze and look into ours, empowering us, raising our vibration, our frequency, so we may be more concentrated and focused on our path, on our true will and destiny. For as I've called forward the Egyptian Pantheon, I now empower all who are watching this video, for I attune you. For if you desire, the Egyptian Pantheon is there for you. If you wish to work with them, if you're already working with them, all of these energies are empowering you, and I'm giving you Reiki. And that as I give you this golden Reiki from Ra, as well, before I do this, I wish to call, or as I've called in Ra, I also call in Set. So the thing is, people believe like you can't call these energies together. You can. There is no beef. Those are stories, right? So I call forward Set, also a son of Ra. Lord Set. Set, I call you forward. Set, I call you forward. Set. For Set, tamer of the desert storms, tamer of chaos, you who conjures winds and chaos into our life to make sure that we understand and know how to control and tame it, you who teaches us alchemy, self-mastery, master of alchemist, patron of the temple. For Lord Set, teach us alchemy, and as well teach us your ways and empower us and attune us to that of the darker aspects of the Egyptian Pantheon. So I gave you light and as well darkness. Now we are merging these energies and embracing the golden light. But we are also mixing it with melanin energies or black dark matter. What is, so the original word for Egypt is Kemet. What is Kemet? The black land. So black darkness, Soot, Shaitan, Setuk, Set, is truth. He is reality. Set is as well Satan, rebranded later on. People even say that the being that came to Aleister Crowley, Awas, was as well Satan, or Setuk, Set. So we're using both of these energies, and as I made a video, which you can go watch on dark matter, that teaches you how to use dark matter. I also made a video on Shiva, go watch that, and that teaches you how to, at the end I do a Reiki with dark matter, golden energies, and in the same way, that's what we're doing now. We are merging the golden energies of our light, right? We are golden, just like Anubis, right? Golden. He's golden, but as well, he has the dark melanin energies, the energies of the darkness. You could say of chaos, but of darkness, or dark matter. So then we're now filling our bodies with dark matter and the essence and energies of dark matter, and we're now amplifying the golden light with the darkness. Darkness is what amplifies light. Darkness creates light, so it amplifies light. So we're going to do a little bit of a meditation where we are now going to envision Ra on our right side, and then Set on our left side, and then Horus, Set behind us, Heru, Set, and then all of these beings are empowering us. So the energies of light, of darkness, and then the transcendence of both. Horus and Set was a being that the Egyptians worked with. I'm making sure that in this video you have everything that you need through the video. You know how to work Egyptian magic, as well as I'm attuning you and empowering you to this current of energy at a very fast rate, in a very pure way. You're getting the pure source of magic. You're getting the pure source of the Egyptian Pantheon right here. So imagine this golden energy coming into you, and then as you do, we're going to solidify it with the darkness when we hold our breath for about a minute. Okay, you got that? Just a minute, come on. Golden light coming in. As we've purified our energy, our blood, we've brought this into our being fully. We're going to take a few more breaths of gold and then blow out. And then as you do, fill yourself with that dark matter and hold that in. Golden energy, now breathe it out. Sit with the dark matter and have it amplify the gold. Don't matter the noise if you hear that in the background. And then feel it solidifying your being, your essence, solidifying that gold. Feel the gold coming out of it and being empowered fully. pull in gold energy. Now we're gonna hold this for 15 seconds, the golden energy and as well the darkness, the dark matter. And then feel yourself as if you were like Anubis, right? Darkness and then gold jewelry adorning you. And let this amplify your vibration and frequency. For now, I'm going to give you guys Reiki for just a minute as I kind of just talk about the Egyptian Pantheon and in a sense what it's about and why. So the way that we work with the Egyptian Pantheon is we write out an invocation, right? Maybe to Anubis, maybe to Thoth, right? And we call on them, we talk to them, we sit in ritual. As I raised a sacred space with Anubis, as I communed with Thoth, Anubis, protector; Thoth, teacher, mentor, and guide; Hekate, empowerment; Horus, kingship, ruling, empowerment, leadership, right? Each being, each deity has an archetype in which you can embody and work with. You can either work with one of them or all of them at once. And then from this you can progress and grow your magic and become better at your skills and as well your art form. Egyptian magic is a really good introduction into magic because it's not like demon magic or qliphothic magic where we're working with dark matter and we have to be careful. Yes, I use dark matter with Set. That's different from just conjuring a random spirit or a random demon, right? So all of this is in a tame, organized manner. So with that, guys, that is the Egyptian Pantheon. Horus, Thoth, Isis, Ma'at. I'm gonna go more in depth with Ma'at, but her energy was present. Osiris, Set, Ra. I pretty much gave you the foundation of not the, I think it's called like the Ennead, but in a sense the foundation as I know it, and the main primary components to the Egyptian Pantheon. I gave you a dark god, I gave you light, I gave you magic, moon, fertility, growth, healing. So that was a masterclass in magic. You can take everything that I did today and literally break it down, break it apart, and apply it to yourself, apply it to your life, and have really powerful magic come into your life. So with that, guys, I thank you for all that you do. This was OccultcatTv. I'm your host, O'Shea. As well, you can call me Atanu or Cool Cat. And with that, guys, I'd actually like to show you in the bottom in the comment, or not in the comments, but in the bottom section, I actually do have services. If you would like to hire me for a consultation, that I can help you in that way. If you'd like to hire me to initiate you or help you in any way with Egyptian magic, I can also help you with that. I also teach qliphothic or goetic / demon sorcery, demon magic, right? As well with Iblis, King Paimon, Lucifer, Azazel. And then as well I teach the Sephiroth, and I could teach you to work with angels. So I'm pretty much everywhere with all these things, and I also teach spell work and divination. So if you just want a divination coach, a conscious coach, someone to teach you meditation, I do recommend that you hire a consultation. So with that, guys, have a beautiful day. Namaste. Peace. I'm out. That is OccultcatTv. Have a good one.